I've been trying to figure this out for a while, but I want to show you how to create a high resolution tiny planet or inverted tiny planet 360 image. That's a 300 DPI, good for printing image. Now the camera I've got is an Insta360 OneX2. It will create raw files, and if you're creating images for kind of 360 tours, it's perfect, but it's not great for creating tiny planets, and I like to create tiny planets. The first thing I'm going to do is open up my raw file, which is already open here. Let's open it again. Open up my raw file in the Insta360 Studio. Just drag that over there. And what's great about this, it's great software for making tiny planets, inverted tiny planets. We can do crazy angles like that aren't perfect circles. We can create a tiny planet in Photoshop using polar coordinates, but it makes kind of a perfect circle. It's hard to kind of change it. You got to really mess around, and it's nothing like this. So this is great. If we were to take a snapshot here, it'd be a 72 DPI image. Same goes for the app as well. So literally we are just going to open up here and we are going to export that as a DNG still. That's the noise we want. There we go. So we've got our rectangular, whatever that's called. And we're going to open that in Photoshop. Now we're in Photoshop. Now here's a chance if you want to make some changes. One thing I'm going to do is take sharpening and color noise out. Might boost the exposure and saturation and everything, just to make a slightly more interesting image. You don't necessarily have to do it at this point, but it's up to you. And we're going to open that up. And there we've got that nice shade there. We are going to save that as a JPEG, just to make it easier to work with. And let's close that. Okay, so we're going to open up our JPEG in Gimp, which is free software, open source as far as I know. I don't really know anything about this software other than it's quite like Photoshop and it's free. We are going to filters, map, and little planet, and there's our little planet. Now I might be happy with the little planet and just leave it like that, but actually I want an inverted little planet, so I'm going to go to tilt here and swing that around to about minus 90 degrees or close. It doesn't have to be, it might not be exactly where you want. I'll go for something like that. I'm going to swing the pan around a little bit, so that's me down there, so I'm kind of in the middle and it's all nicely lined up, and I'm going to zoom in a bit. I'm quite happy with that. And that is all I'm doing in Gimp. I'm sure you could carry on editing that. I'm going to export as. Let's save it in the same place. Yeah, replace it. I don't care. There we go. Thank you very much, Gimp. We're done with you. Do spell changes. Right. So there we go. There's our image. Now, I'm going to I have all my pictures normally in squares or circles. So I am just going to make a little square. Now here's the problem. We've still got an image size. We've got 300 DPI, which is brilliant, but we've still got a 10-inch image size. There is still going to be some noise and grain issues as well in there. You might want to make some more changes to the image at this point, but I'm quite happy with that. Let's just flatten that, save it. And we're done with Photoshop. The next one we got Topaz Labs, brilliant software. First of all, we're going to start off with DeNoise. Now, we can do Sharpen in a minute, so I'm just going to start off with noise. You play around with this and get this where you're happy. I'm just going to go about 60, you know, 68, remove noise. And I'm going to save that. I'm going to do this in real time so you can actually see how long this software takes to do and process and everything. This is a fairly fast MacBook Pro I'm working on. Thank you, DeNoise. We're done with you. Okay, so this is our denoised version of the image. Next one we got is Sharpen. See how it's sort of renamed here. We can zoom in a bit more if we want, but and you get side by side. That's going to bring the noise down. Just want it a bit sharper than it was before, but not too much. Again, there's lots of videos you can see on how to use this software properly, but I'm just showing you the process that I've been using. And that just takes a few seconds. And we're nearly done. Now that software is all very well and good, but the real reason I got Topaz Labs was Gigapixel. So we've got this third image here. You can see, I don't know if you can see the file name. Sharpen, AI Focus, DeNoise, they've all done their thing. And here we go, right. Time for Gigapixel to do its thing here. Now, potentially, we got 3040 pixels by 3040 pixels. We can double that up. Oh, we basically got a 20-inch print, which is more than enough. I might want to even go bigger, so you could go four times. Why not? Why not? That's a bit excessive, isn't it? But for the standard of this, I'm going to take out of that because we've done noise, we've done blur. Reduce color bleed you might want to do. Again, this is just experimenting. I'm going to leave it alone though. All I'm going to do is just make this a 20-inch square. We'll save that. We'll save it to the same place. And I've seen versions of this software working a bit slower, but this is pretty good. I'm quite happy with this. Now in Photoshop you can make the raw file bigger. There is a new way of doing that, but I just don't think it's as good as this. Let's open that in Photoshop and have a look. There we go. So we've got, I mean, that's not too bad. The quality on that from those little cameras. Let's have a look at image size. So we got 20-inch square, 300 pixels per inch, and that is more than enough to create a really nice, good size print for your wall. And I've been trying to figure this out for ages. I finally have, so I wanted to share it with you. All right, thanks for watching.